Hey folks, it's Pam. How are you doing? I am checking in today to talk about three things: taxes, taxes, and taxes. But it's your first CFO talking to you, not your tax accountant. So I promise I'll keep this in English and talk about how we can do some things now to completely mitigate and eliminate the April surprise that so many successful entrepreneurs run into because they're profitable. Profitable is great, and I don't want you to ever regret profitability. So one of the things we need to do that really helps convert finance from awful to fun, it kind of happens in two steps. Don't mind the noise. That's my dogs going after their food bowls. They think they're hungry even though it's midday. But first step to making finance fun is to make it less painful, and I'm going to focus on making it less painful right here. And this message is not just for entrepreneurs and small business people, but it's also for anybody who gets paid with a 1099. So you're not a W-2 type employee of a company, so they're not taking out self-employment taxes for you or employment taxes for you. So here's the drill. If you're a 1099 employee, or if you're a small business owner or entrepreneur who's expecting to be profitable, now is the time to start thinking about your 2017 tax bill. And the reason is you don't want to end up in April and find out that you have a massive tax bill to pay. It's happened to all of us at least once, I'm sure, unless this is your first foray into business ownership. But you don't want to get to April and have a huge tax bill to pay, because not only will you have to pay your taxes, but you'll have to pay penalties and interest on the fact that you didn't pay them as you go during this year. And we don't want that to happen. So one of the ways to minimize that is to sit down now. It's only September. It's the beginning part of September. So you've got a pretty good look at how much money you're going to be making for the year. And then you've got 3 or 4 months left to kind of deal with it. And by deal with it, what I mean is you can estimate now about how much you're going to make this year. And there are all sorts of tips and tricks on how to deal with things. I talked about one yesterday. But after all of that, there's going to be some amount of money you're going to make, which is good news. You're profitable. What you want to do is get a feel for what that is, and make sure that over these next 4 months you start putting some money aside to cover that tax bill. Because that tax bill's coming. It's coming in April. You can save some cash from now right on through April until you have to pay it. And then you've got 6 months of money built up that you're not going to have to be surprised by when it gets to be April. And that's what we want. We want to eliminate that pain point of getting slapped in the face with a massive tax bill. Now, there are people I've talked to, and the way that they deal with this is just to avoid filing the taxes. Every single one of the folks that have tried that as an approach end up after 3, 4, 5 years having to file catch-up taxes and file taxes to catch up, not catch-up taxes, although it is a little bloody, so the color's appropriate. But I don't want that to happen to you. So this is not your tax accountant talking. This is your CFO talking. This is the person who wants to help you manage your cash flow. I really, really encourage you to start taking a look at what the year end's going to be so that you can start putting that money aside so that come April you're not surprised. Or if you are surprised, it's a pleasant surprise because frankly you've put too much money aside. Because as I talked about a little bit yesterday, if you have the cash flow, and if you really need the thing that you spend money on, then it may make sense to spend some money here. Sorry about this. Phone's ringing. I should have turned it off. There we go. It may make sense to spend some money this year to bring that tax bill down. But go back and listen to yesterday's Facebook Live because you don't want to do that without thinking through it. But the biggest thing is, let's put aside too much money. Let's do that and then get a pleasant surprise in April. That's my thought for the day. It's September. I just had a call with one of my clients' tax providers, and we're starting the planning process for the last 4 months of the year now. And we're going to make sure that there's no surprise in April. I do that for every single one of my clients. I need you to do that for yourselves or with your accounting team. Tons more tips like this are going to be available on the podcast, which goes live here. It's called Cash Flow, and it's going to go live on September 12th, which is 6 days from now, on iTunes. So I really, really look forward to getting you a lot more information like this that's actionable, timely. And if you were to take two things away from this message today, one, figure out how much profit you think you're going to make this year, how much money you're going to make this year. Two, start putting aside some money to pay the taxes on that. You don't want to have the nasty surprise in April. We are going to walk through a process that gets 10,000 entrepreneurs excited about finance and saying that finance is fun. Step one I take them through is let's make it less painful. So first step is we'll make it less painful. Then I'll convince you of how much fun it can be to really own this finance pillar in your business. So have a great, great rest of the day, and take a look at how much profit you're going to be making this year. Keep away from the April surprise. Take care.